For section 3.4, we're going to look at graphing relationships amongst ratios. So what we're going to end up using are these things called coordinate planes, or otherwise known as graphs. So we can refer to those as the same thing. So let's take a look at example 1 here for lesson 3.4. So when we talk about coordinate plane, that's this blue checkerboard item here, okay? So we can call that a coordinate plane or a graph. So sometimes you'll see coordinate plane, but then other times we'll talk about that being a graph. So those are the same thing, so don't get overly confused about that. And so the way that we use these graphs is, well, we generally have a data table, and we've been working with these right here. So you can call that a data table or a ratio table, which is what we called it in our last lesson. Essentially, it's just a place where we have information. And so what types of information do we have in this data table or ratio table here? Well, we have a bunch of ratios. And so each of these ratios here, this 4:2, 8:4, 12:6, we can also see those written differently in a way that we call an ordered pair, okay? And so 4:2 can also be written like this, where we have these two sets of parentheses, right? Or this set of parentheses here, these little swerves on the outside. And then in between each of these values, these numbers, we're going to put a comma so that we understand that it's two separate values. And so this is just another way of writing information in math, okay? And so we have these three ratios in this ratio table, but we could also have three ordered pairs listed down here, okay? Same information, just written differently. From those ordered pairs, or those ratios in the table, we can transfer that information into a graph. And there's lots of different ways that you might have learned or seen graphs, but essentially you want these ordered pairs to be plotted. We use the word plot, and plotted means to take the information and insert it as a point, just like that, onto your graph or your coordinate plane. And so the first thing we need to do is create the graph. So when we create a graph or coordinate plane, we have this vertical line, which we call our y-axis, and this horizontal line, which we call our x-axis. Let's focus on, from the ratio table, let's put the top information into our x-axis. So I mean the top information, meaning the stuff up here. And then we'll put the information below, this water information, since it's below on the ratio table, we'll put that on our y-axis, just so we can stay consistent and we're not getting that mixed up. And so here's how you work with ordered pairs. Let me grab a different color. When we have this 4:2, let me rewrite that down here. When we have this 4:2 ratio or ordered pair, same thing. The first value, this 4, is our x value. And the second value here is our y value. And the reason I say that is it tells us where to go on our x and our y axis. So this is our x axis here, right? Now I'm changing its color. And then this is our y-axis right here, the vertical. Okay, that's two separate words. I should, let me fix that. Y-axis. So just the y-axis is the up and down line, the vertical line, and the x-axis is the horizontal line. So we'll need to remember that for graphing. So we take our value, our 4, and we start at this dot right here, this point where the lines intersect, and that's called our origin. Okay, origin is just the starting point. So we always start at the origin. So I kind of put my eyes right right in this area. And so then I look at my ordered pair, and it tells me how many points to move on my x-axis. And so according to the way it's numbered, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, I will move to the 4th spot here because it's the number 4, okay? And then I look at my 2, which refers to my y-axis, and that tells me which way to go vertically or up. So then I'm going to go 2 points up, and then I land on my ordered pair that's already written here. Right next to it, it's good to write your ordered pair just so that you can see what the values are. Okay? And so it's all about starting at the origin, moving to the right based on what the number is for your x-axis, and then moving vertically based on the number that's written for your y-axis. And so we would do the same thing. So we have 8, 4. So I start at the origin, I move to the right 8, and then I move up 4, and then I land at that dot there. And the same thing for 12, 6. I plot it there. And then when we work with coordinate planes or graphs, it's always good to connect the dots by making a line like that. It shows sort of the direction that the information is going, okay? And so from that line, I can start interpreting what this information is doing, right? So if I'm working with cups of flour and water and my line is going upwards and it has this trend to keep going upwards, well, that probably means that the more flour I'm using, the more water is going to be needed for whatever I'm doing, because my line continually grows or goes in this direction. So the more I increase my flour, the more I'm going to end up needing water, and so the quantities continually go up. Okay, so that's a quick introduction to using ratio tables to graph on a coordinate plane. Okay, and so same situation here. You take this 1, 10, which is an ordered pair, 1, 10. I start at the origin. Since it's 1, I'm going to move to the right 1, land on that 1 right there, and then 10. I'm going to go up wherever the 10 is listed, and then I'm going to plot my point. I'm going to put a little dot there, okay? It's called plotting. And then I just put all of the values there and then connect the line and make a little arrow like that. Okay, so that was section 3, or lesson 3.4, using coordinate planes to work with ratios.